So, after releasing their follow-up album to Freedom's Rise in 1987, titled Burning My Touch, which would be the last sound for vocalist Andy Mashad, he gets replaced by Joseph Comeau, and in 1988, they released their third album titled Master Control. Now, this album is a bit of a different album in a way than what was on, Burning My Touch and Freedom's Rise. This one is a bit more power metal sounding, but adding a little bit of thrash, even though they've always had a bit of a thrashy sound. At times very similar to like really early Anthrax, but yet they had a sound that was very similar to Metal Church. And here you definitely hear a bit of Metal Church on this album. And Joseph Comeau has his singing on this album is very different than Andy Mashad. Andy Mashad was like a fucking air raid siren. Every about that guy was, it's like when he let out those sirens, it's like a cop car. It's like you have to fucking stop and pull over just by after hearing that, the sounds. You just know that this guy really had, like, you knew something was going on. But Joseph Comeau has a very different approach. He's a little more, almost, I don't want to use the word guttural, but this guy does have a bit more, he's a little gruffer than him. He does have a good voice, but he's definitely different. He doesn't let out any air raid sirens like Andy Mashad did. So this guy is a little different. So, and of course this album is a much longer album than Freedom's Rise and Burning My Touch. This album is almost a little over 42 minutes long, so it's definitely it's definitely a little long, but not too long. About 10 tracks on here, so you get Fear Itself, which kicks off the album, definitely good. Eye of the Storm, the title track, great. Soldier's Fortune, Feel the Blade, Broken Wasteland, which Broken Wasteland is, I guess, is a bit of a political-esque song in a way. It's definitely kind of, it's a song that actually can fit within even today's standards. It's definitely, it's not too protesty, but it's got a bit like a message in there where it's kind of, try and save the planet or some sort, and it's just kind of pointing fingers, of course, at like political people or such who are probably ruining the planet, whatever, with pollution, all sorts of stuff. Maybe a little similar to what Protector had on their last album that I ever reviewed, Cursed and Coronated. Yeah, I think that was that album. I can't fucking remember. Yeah, I can't fucking remember. Anyway, no, it's, yeah, it doesn't matter. So, of course you get Rapture, Suspicion, Fallout. But there's one more song I am missing, and it's actually a cover track. There's a cover of Kill the King by Rainbow. And they do a good job on this. This is definitely a good cover, nonetheless. And I have talked about two bands that covered Richie Blackmore tracks, when he was, Deep Purple, that being Savage Grace doing Burn, and Metal Church doing Highway Star here. They do Rainbow's Kill the King. It's definitely done in a great way. Overall, this is definitely a good album, nonetheless. It's a bit different than Freedom's Rise and Burning My Touch. I was going to say Master Control, but this is the album I'm reviewing. But it still is a good album, nonetheless. It's probably not my favorite. To me, I hate to say it, but it actually seems to go towards Freedom's Rise. I don't know, but for some reason, every time I put that album on, I'm like, and it's, I don't know. It's just me, personally. Even though Burning My Touch is definitely up there as one of my favorites by this band. But Freedom's Rise is definitely good, but this one, Master Control, is definitely no slouch. So, After this would end up being the last album for Liege Lord. Of course, Joseph Comeau would join Overkill for a bit. But recently, since like 2012, I believe, or 11, yeah, it was 2012, they got back together to play a few shows, and they are back together, I guess, permanently, because according to in a interview with Matt Vinici, if I pronounce his last name right, he did an interview with, of course, with my friend Painkiller, and of course the questions were asked about reissues and all sorts of that. I will post that link down there for the interview. So, and he also says that there is going to be a 4th Liege Lord album that's coming out this year, so it's going to be brand new. It's pretty much going to have Joseph Comeau back on vocals, so I'm expecting it to be a little more closer to the sound that was presented on Master Control than really on Freedom's Rise and Burn in My Touch, but I'm definitely totally fine with that. But of course, as far as reissues, there is going to be a box set that Metal Blade is going to put out, and it's going to feature first 3 Liege Lord albums. So Freedom's Rise is going to get a proper, better reissue, so I don't have to fork out $50 just to pay a fucking copy for that album, especially for Burn in My Touch. So when that album does come out, I will also be reviewing it. So I will definitely make a Liege Lord discography album review for Liege Lord once that album gets released. So, until then, if you have heard Master Control by Liege Lord, what are your thoughts on this album? If you have any thoughts, you can post your comments down below. It's time to get on to the next band. This is Heavy Fascist saying I am out. And I'll see you on the other video. Later.